Gender where the side bill.
Guys, welcome to the episode of Into the West Comics. My name is Frank. Brother Marcus is here.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you, buddy.
Thank you.
The hot dog, corn dog Paul is here.
What happened?
I'm not sure.
Thought I was on NPR
Good morning.
for a minute. Hey, man. Steal my hook.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uncle Nephew Shane is here.
You have to say what it do, baby. That's what that means.
I guess what it do, baby.
He
want
guesses. He guesses.
You know,
I guess I gotta say what it do, baby. Let's do this.
we'll find out if Tessa's going to borrow anybody's catchphrase. Please welcome our special guest. She's staying up late for us, all the way from the East Coast. Friend of the show, Tessa Gray is here.
Woo!
Hey.
Yeah.
Welcome.
It's extremely past my bedtime, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oof. Yeah, you're way.
Was it 9 o'clock?
east.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like,
We're keeping her up late. Tessa, I just say that because if I say 9, I'm old. I'm saying
go,
like
ooh.
I'm ready to go to sleep.
It's a
Right.
miracle we get Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already in my sleep shirt and everything. My Garfield sleep shirt and
Yeah.
Cap.
and a cap with the fuzzy ball on the end. Yeah, all those things.
The old dude stuff.
But seriously, thanks for taking some time to hang out with us tonight. We really do appreciate it. And we're glad this finally worked out for you to hang out with us.
Yeah. Long time coming.
thanks for inviting me over. This is going to be fun. I appreciate it.
So we wanted to ask you, how did you get into the hobby? How did it start for you, the world of comic book collecting, and all of your, how was your nerddom born, basically?
I actually don't have like an interesting origin story by any means whatsoever. When I was a kid, I was really interested in comics, but I'm a girl, so like nobody was really okay with it. My parents wouldn't really let me have comics or anything like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were very much like, go play with dolls. And I was like, I like Batman.
They're Batman dolls.
Yeah. There's dolls of Batman, that's fine.
Yeah,
Right.
But eventually I kind of won people over by, my parents would go to antique stores all the time. And I would be like, it's only like $1 for like 2 comic books. Like you buy me like a comic, I'll shut up for a few hours.
Right.
So eventually I was able to do with that. And then honestly, my first real comic shop is the one that I currently do stuff with. Any other shop I wasn't really welcome at, again, either because I was young or I was a girl. Now I found a shop that was lovely and I would go to all the time and they were absolutely amazing. And now run the place and I have multiple locations. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Very
Phenomenal.
cool. Very cool.
Thank you. I have a new shop opening in March.
Nice.
Awesome. Very cool.
So you're not only a collector, but you're also you're on the retail side of it as well.
A proprietor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Proprietor. Look at me. I know things.
Wow.
The more truly he drinks,
The more I learn, the more I know.
words he thinks
Right.
of.
The more truly he drinks, the sorry I am.
Right. Wow.
What's the name of this? What's the name of the shop, Tessa?
Quad City. So we have one location over in Easton, and then one in like Whitehall, and then our new one will be in Stroudsburg. So all in Pennsylvania.
Oh wow, very cool. That's very cool, and it's growing, so that's always a good thing. Comic shops growing, spreading. You know, all the comic book nerddom everywhere. I'm sure you're getting a lot of young people to read, and
Oh my God,
and
absolutely.
bringing older readers back. Maybe, hopefully, you know, sometimes they could be a tough crowd.
So I would be my kind of question is, how did you go from shopping at the store to becoming a owner or operator of that store? Like, was it a slow, gradual build, or did one day? So how did you get involved in that side of it? How did that happen?
It was very gradual. I've been doing this for almost a decade now. So when I started, I went there a few times, and eventually I knew the owner's name, and I just said hello to him, and I was like, hello, and he was just like, why does she know my name? But the way he looked at me made me panic. I was like, oh no, that's not his name. I just looked at him and I said the wrong name. But he was actually like, no, I was just like, he thought I was just really personable. And eventually I was complaining because at the time my job was like 45 minutes away. And I was like, yeah, I'm looking for another job, so I don't have to drive like 45 minutes every day. And he was like, send in an application here. And I started off working like 2 days a week there for a few years. And I started really running the place probably in 2017, 2018.
Okay. Very cool.
And then a second location opened April 1st of 2020. And then third location opens next month. And we already have talks for a fourth location.
Wow.
Dang.
Is there any
Fantastic.
possibility you guys like expand outside of Pennsylvania, or are you guys going to try to keep it in within the state?
Oh my God, yeah. We're looking at probably store 5 or 6 to go into probably New Jersey because that's the closest one. But yeah, it's definitely a gradual global takeover is the goal.
Slowly, but the tri-state area first, and then
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I don't understand how a comic book shop would not want more women there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you seem like you want everybody to be involved.
Everyone
type
who's
of thing.
interested in reading.
Yeah,
right?
like-
What's going on here?
Get out of here. You're a girl. You're a paying customer. Out. You and your friends. Who
Yeah,
does
it would
that?
be like, oh, are these for your husband? Are these for your father?
Yeah.
No, I have money of my own.
No, I like these too.
Just today,
that?
actually, I was buying a comic collection, as you know, I do.
As you
And when I
do.
went there, some guy came in, and it was just me, and then someone running the register at the store because I don't usually spend time in the storefronts. And a man came in, he just went, "Where are all the men?"
Really? Where are all the dudes here?
What are dudes at?
wow.
Dude, it's just like, "Oh, we're all the men off today, ladies." Like,
Wow.
What year is this? I thought
I know, right?
Oh, that's great.
Good heavens.
I don't know what that says about comic book store frequenters.
I'm offended.
He was upset that there wasn't more men in.
That's great. Oh man. So what sorts of things do you guys specialize in the store? Is it a broad stroke, more modern stuff, or do you have like a kind of a plethora of different, from different eras, like whether it be Silver Age, Gold
Plethora.
Age?
Ooh, plethora.
What do you have? What do you guys have going?
Not with the plethora.
Because usually, like for example, here in Las Vegas, the area, there's plenty of room for everyone because every store pretty much has their own little niche, whether it be more indie, whether it be more modern stuff,
Old stuff.
yeah, that kind of thing.
You
More
would know about that,
collectors,
Shane.
yeah, more collectors. You're more oriented towards collectors, maybe CGCers, those type of people, speculators, versus the people who want to just cater more towards families and getting kids to read, that kind of thing. Where are you guys in that kind of spectrum?
So I'd say we're a little unique in the way that as far as comic shop goes, we're actually not that esoteric. We really have like we have a first appearance of Spidey and a first appearance of Daredevil, first Wolverine. Like we have some big books,
Right.
but we also have plenty of dollar bins. We carry I'd say a pretty wide variety of new issues. We definitely have an insane amount of trades. Each store has like a wall of graphic novels, and that's something that I'm really passionate about because then we can really that's where like indie comics really sell because indie comics after the first issue, no one's gonna pick up issue like 5 of Madness,
Right.
But trades we try to keep like really well in stock. We do also have like video games, board games, Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that jazz. We have a lot of back issues, so we buy collections literally every day, like literally every day.
Oh, okay. So you have a lot of stuff coming through. That's good.
So Based on what Ryan was saying in the chat, are different stores dedicated more to different things? Like he was saying, Cloud City Games he calls it the best shop. So is there a dedicated game shop that has comics there, but is more towards games, or is that just what you guys landed on for the new location?
We just call them all Cloud City Games because there
okay.
was another store called Cloud City Comics back in Syracuse, New York, many years ago, and it was kind of like a sister store. So it was a way to differentiate ourselves before they went out of business. But so that one was very much just a comic store. We are I usually call this a nerd store. We are like 50% comics, 50% games, basically. But we kind of have it all.
Very cool.
Okay. You do the tournaments in store, like a little D&D, some Magic.
Yeah, we do Dungeons and Dragons, we do Warhammer, we do Paint Nights. We also have a Discord where people just chat about books or meeting up for games and stuff like that. We do a bunch of different formats for Magic the Gathering. We do Yu-Gi-Oh! We do Gundam building nights.
Wow, that's cool.
We had book clubs pre-pandemic. We're gonna open that back up again. But yeah, we do. Anytime there's more than 6 people who want to do something too, we'll just look into doing it.
Wow, Discord. I haven't heard that in a while.
Discord is a really good. I think that's like brilliant. I think more stores here should do that because it would get more people in the store. You have a friend and you're like, I know you don't read comics, but hop in the Discord and see us talk about it. Maybe something will catch your eye, and then you'll come into the store with me one day.
Right.
I think that's like a brilliant idea because that's what kids 10 to 20 years old are using. That's where they go to talk about things in like a large group format. I would say Discord in general is a more approachable thing than a subreddit, because people in subreddits can be mean. But Discords are like, they're like, you can only get into it like if you're like, well, a lot of them are invite only. I don't know about your guys's, but I feel like Discord is a much more loving and caring place to talk to people about things.
A little more sensitive community.
Right.
And it's a more like, you'll find people who are interested in the things that you're interested more so than like Twitter or something.
Right.
But yeah, so I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. So kind of like what Facebook was supposed to be or used to be, and then it turned
into
turned into a nightmare.
Yeah, turned into a nightmare.
Nothing wrong with Facebook. I'm saying it's a nightmare. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
I was gonna say, why are we afraid to talk crap about Facebook?
Yeah, I don't know. Are they affiliate of this show, Frank? They're not, are they?
No.
Okay.
We're not sponsored.
Facebook is horrible.
Facebook.
Not yet.
No.
We're still waiting on the Truly sponsorship.
Right? You were supposed to work on
right.
that. You need to be working on that.
Yeah,
Truly. It's one of our... No.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing a read-through thing. Tessa, I know we've been talking about this Echo series the last few weeks. It seems like it went kind of fast as far as a one-day 5-episode release. They put out the whole season in one shot. Have you had a chance to check out the show? What are your thoughts on the show? And
What? What's wrong?
No, I've never even seen Daredevil. Like, I haven't watched any of the stuff. I've seen WandaVision, and that's the only like Marvel show I've seen.
Well, what did you think of it?
That's a winner.
What did you think of WandaVision?
Oh, especially like until like the very end. I loved it. I liked the end. It just felt more like actual Marvel Universe kind of stuff, like the stereotypical stuff in the movies. But the first like 8 episodes or whatever it was, phenomenal. Like I was obsessed with it. Every week I was like getting so excited for when it would come out.
All the different TV show concepts and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was really cool. Honestly, the last episode of WandaVision felt like if they made it maybe 30 minutes longer, it could have been a movie. You could have
it was
released it as a movie. That would have been cool. Yeah.
So is there any particular reason that you're not too into the MCU? Maybe like you watched a certain movie or something and were like, not really my thing? Or has it just never like scratched that itch for you?
Oh, no, I really like watching stuff when I get a chance. I'm just kind of busy.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Stores,
I know. We forgot that she runs 15 stores in the tri-state area. We forgot about that.
15 almost.
Well,
not yet.
I can definitely kind of empathize because having been in the retail side, it's amazing how much how busy you become and how the time just seems like you almost don't have time to enjoy the hobby anymore because you're so busy trying to facilitate other people to enjoy the hobby that you sometimes you'll either fall behind in reading yourself for your own personal enjoyment, or just you get caught up in the mechanics in the logistics of everything, the business side of it, and a lot of times that can just pull you away from it. And I found that to be kind of a challenge for me, personally, like because I got into comics to enjoy it. I didn't think I was going to be working
a job.
and then it became, and then it
job.
slowly just became a job. And I was like, oh my God.
How long did you work at the LCS? About a year, right?
Year and a half. Yeah. Okay. And then little by little, it got more and more challenging to kind of like stay abreast of all the different, all the different comic titles that I had. And yeah, I know
reading. Is it difficult to work in that store and work in your stores and then read and then keep up with everything as well?
I'm not maybe good at necessarily keeping up with things, but I do read a lot. I'm actually trying to read every single graphic novel we carry, which is over 1,000 easily. So that's a slow going thing, but I'm going pretty well. I'm over halfway there.
Oh wow, very cool.
But yeah, I've definitely often said that like the easiest way to lose your love for a hobby is to get paid for it. Once you're making it like a responsibility and a burden, it definitely like draws away from it. I'm lucky enough where I'm super biased here, but my shop is great. Like we very much make it like a loving place for everyone. Like you get unlimited pay time off. Like we take care of each other very well. Like so it's a very different environment that I've had to deal with for most jobs. Right. But in general, most people I know who go and work at a shop or some form of going into the industry, they usually get burned out pretty fast.
Right. I think it's just retail. It's just that
itself.
It's still, regardless of whether it's comics or if it's whatever it is. I think it's just the retail aspect of it that just kind of wears on you after a while.
And now since you are doing so much within that community, are your parents cool with it, or are they still going, all right, when are you going to get when are you going to become a brain surgeon? Are you ready? When is that going to happen? Is that going to happen anytime soon?
Where's your retirement? Where's your benefits?
Yeah, where's your benefits at?
Yeah. I think the fact that I make more now than I made it like a big girl job definitely helps.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And my dad has definitely come around. He got me this book a while ago, but he saw that I wanted it, and he was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know what books are. I don't know what grading is, but I tried to figure out what it was. He was like trying to slyly message me. He was like, yeah, and as far as grading goes, like what grades are good grades?
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a father, all right. Yeah.
Doing some intel.
Yeah, he's like,
I love your dad. This sounds like the most sweet.
He sounds like a great,
very dad-like.
Like a dad.
That didn't take a lot.
Is this a grade?
What is
things? Grading? I don't know.
The higher, the better.
That's cute. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
So cute. It's insane. He goes. So he knows nothing about comics other than like he likes Batman movies. But he follows me on Instagram and he'll always do some like comments. He'll just be like, "Yep, that sure is a book."
Nailed it.
That's funny because that's literally what my mom does in the chat of this show. She's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but yay, Michael Keaton.
That's great.
Somebody mentioned like a crime show or something. She's like, I love Jag.
She loves her NCIS, and she's been watching Fringe. She sorry to get on my own tangent. The other day, she's like, I mentioned Fringe in the chat the other day, and nobody said anything. Nobody cared, and I was like, Mom, they probably just didn't see it.
Carol, we're not up to date on Fringe.
My dad tries to go to literally every live show that I'm in, and he's literally on vacation in a different country. Otherwise, he definitely would have been in here and been like, hello, and it would have been just a little pop.
Yes.
That's awesome.
But I will say, like, on the good side of things, on, being in the retail side, you meet people, you meet a ton of people, and it's a lot of fun. And you start meeting people, or not meeting people, but they know you, but you don't know them, and you're like, how do you know me? Oh, it's like, because I've seen you on this, or I've seen you. We've shared a line together, at a signing or something, and that kind of thing is it's very cool. Like, because at some point you'll strike up a conversation, and that's how friendships are born.
I mean, that's how we met you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, customers. Yeah, Frank was my customer.
Yeah.
My
life don't sound so excited.
And my life's been changed forever.
It has. I gave him a whole new perspective on how to look at
Oh
a lot
my
of things,
God, yes.
both comic and non-comic.
A lot of non-comic. So Tessa, did you finish Echo? Did you watch the whole thing? Or no?
Sorry, Shane over here.
What did
Okay.
you think of it, Frank?
What did I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did you see the last episode? Did it move you?
No, I think I
Were you
audibly
moved?
said, "Oh wow."
You weren't moved by any of
Does
that?
it make
I
you
was-
more or less excited for the Daredevil?
Okay. I like Echo as the character.
Sure,
Shout out
sure.
to David Mack, the creator. Met him up in Rose City Con back in September. That guy does a lot in the community up there in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, very cool.
He supports a women's shelter
Mm.
up there. Shout out to friend Shiloh. She was telling me a little bit about him and that he has a lot of original art pieces that he auctions off or sells
Mhm.
in the area up there in Portland, and it supports
Amazing.
the women's shelter.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
he does a lot of stuff up there in the community. He's a really good guy. I think Echo as a character is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they had originally planned with this because of the placement of Daredevil, like in the first
Right.
10 minutes of the first episode. I don't know if I don't really know if the show worked overall, but it doesn't make me nervous about what they're going to do with Daredevil. It's just, I just thought it was a little,
Yeah, I don't
weird.
think
The
there's
execution
enough.
was a little weird
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
me. I liked it.
I mean, now that I've seen some recent interweb postings that said like a majority of the Daredevil scenes were cut out, and that was initially the one hook. Episode 1, you see, Daredevil in there. There is a nice, cool fight scene in there, but it kind of felt victim to like. The show itself felt victim to the same sort of pacing issues that I've seen throughout all of the Disney Plus series. The very movie like slow pacing. Like, yeah, we have 20 episodes to work through this story arc, but then we only have 5, so you're spending 4 of the 5, doing
Because it was supposed to be more episodes.
But yeah,
And it got cut down.
right.
I think what happened is they had a bunch of not so well received things and things that didn't make a lot of money that came out. They realized that Echo kind of fell under the same umbrella of the kind of things they were making,
Right.
and they were faced with: do we just scrap it or try to cut it down as much as possible and get it all out and just forget about it? I think that's what happened. I didn't watch.
yeah.
I didn't watch.
You
Actually,
didn't watch any of it?
So
no.
having watched
Oh.
all
I
of
had
it,
better things to do
You
with
didn't
my
see
free
the
time.
you didn't see the
watched
first
all.
episode.
I
You
didn't even watch
see
the
it.
first episode.
I have better things to do with my
laughing.
free time?
like read.
Bruh.
yeah.
Come on, bro.
I'll give
Shane,
you that one. I'll give
Did
you
you
that
see it all? The
I,
whole thing? You
listen,
loved it?
I saw it all because I watched like the last 3 episodes all last night. Like I just like, let me just power through this bad boy. And sure enough, I did power through it.
That's kind of
But,
how I do the what if.
I mean, yeah, like I did that with What If too, kind of. But what I thought about it was, it almost seemed like it had no clue what it really wanted to be. Like
Yeah.
it just seemed like it was like 15 different things in one show. So when it was an action show, those scenes were pretty good.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, solid choreography.
Yeah,
fight
solid
choreo.
fight choreography.
There's
Yeah, absolutely.
In the
Choreography was
first and
good.
third episodes.
Yeah, very
Some of the
nice.
fight choreography is great.
Yeah.
Tessa, I was going to say too about with this show. Now that you had mentioned that you hadn't seen Daredevil or Punisher, those series will probably play a lot better if you watch those now because they're like worlds different. I mean, they're so much. They're very gritty.
Mhm.
They're really violent,
Yeah,
but
violent.
they're really great. And I like the fact they were trying to connect this stuff. I had not high hopes. I had hopes for this because of what they were doing with the Echo character because they introduced her in Hawkeye,
Yes.
and Hawkeye was a pleasant surprise.
Right.
Hawkeye was a fun
Hawkeye was
series.
great. Yeah.
So I was hopeful, but it was okay.
I think that was my biggest disappointment was I was thinking that they were going to build off of the momentum of Hawkeye because that's where you first see her in this whole, streaming world that we are partaking in with Disney Plus. And it looked like it could have been something really kind of really good. you know. And then they just kind of took it, and we went another direction, and
They
did-
marveled it up too with the
Yeah.
comedy and
and I was kind of like, you know,
What was
okay.
it? What's his name? Biscuits.
yeah, biscuits.
Yeah, I
and
was
the
like,
comic
what-
relief.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here?
Well-
But I will say that it is worth a look. It is worth it. Go ahead and check it out. I mean,
I think so.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's true too. It's worth seeing once. Will you ever want to watch it again? Like Loki, probably not.
probably not.
Really selling it here, guys.
I know we seem depressed about it.
To sum it up, Brendan's there in the chat.
He liked it.
He really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It could go either way.
Yeah,
sure.
You could probably love it, or you could probably not.
Well, it's only
like
5
it.
episodes. It's not like a huge
Right.
time sink, right?
Yeah, it's not a huge
Well,
commitment.
coming from the man that did not see one
listen,
episode.
okay, well, that's what I was about to say. So
That
you,
probably wouldn't be that
This
bad
is
to watch
not-
it. It wasn't that long.
Well, that hard to watch. I didn't watch any of it, but it wasn't that hard.
Yeah,
that's not even what I said. The-
I saw none of it.
I'm saying if you wanted to watch it, it's not like a huge time sink.
Yeah.
Listen,
I didn't
you
wanna
can
watch
you can argue this wisdom or not, but I listened to something Sonny described about the show, and I was on the fence about whether I wanted to watch it. And the way with which he described it, I was like,
Really exciting.
I think I'm gonna pass.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're listening to Sonny now?
Well,
When
see,
is
I
that?
knew you were gonna say that
When have you ever listened to Sonny?
when he gives me my confirmation bias.
Okay. It's okay. I get it.
Tessa, I mean, they're talking about the stuff that's coming up like this year as far as a series or a film with regards to, you know, this whole nerd culture. Is there something that's sticking out to you that you're particularly looking forward to, excited about?
Anything at all.
The Dune or the Godzilla
Ooh,
Empire
Dune.
Blast, whatever it's called?
Which one?
I love Godzilla. I don't think the new one will be that good, but I still have a good time. Like I go into the mentality of like I just
Same.
want to be entertained, so it'll be fine.
Right.
I know it's not coming out next year, but I'm like absurdly excited for the Booster Gold series that's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah.
That should be fun.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
I love him. I himbo. I love him so much.
He's funny. Yeah, he's funny. He's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah. I even like Tom King's
Well-
version of him in
What?
Are you not a Tom King person?
I said I like his version in Tom King's version of him in it was Human Target.
Human
Oh,
Target?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I like that where he owns the donut shop.
Yeah.
or the bagel shop. Yeah, that was
good.
fun. Yeah. Yeah, he's fun. He's a lot of every time he has a Blue and Gold, the most
Dan
recent
Jurgens, I think.
Enjoy it.
was
Yeah.
that the last one? Because it was like
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I
was
like that
really
one.
good. Yeah, I enjoyed that one, and he's a lot of fun. You could have some fun with him, and he could be very relevant, especially with technology and the fact he actually looks and believes that social media actually has some merit in how he conducts his superheroing. That's pretty funny. It's very today.
Oh, that's
in
good stuff, yeah.
So it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Well, Tessa said she's going to bully Ryan into watching MCU stuff with her. So I think that's what she's looking forward to watching this year, is forcing Ryan into making time with her to watch things.
Well, definitely Punisher and Daredevil are
I've seen a little bit of Punisher and I loved it.
okay.
I just-
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. They
Going off, but I
they've
loved
done
it.
a good job. I mean, Netflix, because that was before Marvel had it.
It was,
No,
it's like,
Marvel had
it's
it.
like 10,
Marvel had
11 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Was
It's just Disney Plus didn't exist yet.
Yeah, Netflix had it, right?
Yeah. No,
It was
Netflix
the
was
old Daredevil stuff.
in
Yeah,
partnership.
that was Netflix.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but
gotcha.
it was Disney.
Was it
It was yep, 100% Disney production.
It was like an ABC thing,
On-
but
Netflix?
Yes.
on Netflix.
Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because Disney
gotcha.
Plus didn't exist. There was nowhere for them to
Right.
put it out.
Okay, I just assumed it was Netflix since it was on Netflix. But yeah, well, that's shocking. Something must have went very wrong then.
Something
This
went wrong.
very very wrong between
went wrong.
that time, that era of production.
Well,
and-
Defenders sucked. That's what happened.
Yeah,
Ah.
Defenders
bad.
sucked, and it soured.
was not
Disney on it.
great.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what
bad.
happened. Okay, see, you learn something new every time.
Speaking of Godzilla, Tessa, did you see that they're going to do a limited release in the States
Black
of
and
the
white.
black and white version of Godzilla -1? I think it's starting next weekend for
Some of
about
it's
a
great.
week. For about a week, they're going to have it in theaters in black and white.
Brian said
we
I'm
going to see
very
that?
bullyable.
I gotta see it. What did he say?
Yep,
He said
I'm
very
gonna-
bullyable.
I saw it. I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
I'll go see it again.
Thanks for the invite. I
It's
appreciate it.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
I
time.
need to see it.
All of you,
immediately.
thank you for the invite.
Shane.
Appreciate it.
What are you doing? Go
Me?
watch it.
I know. I gotta see it. I still haven't seen it. Everybody says it's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
It's really
I
great.
gotta see
like,
it.
not even like being hyperbolic. It's probably the best Godzilla movie ever.
Is it the
Yeah,
best
Tessa,
Godzilla?
what'd you think
What are you
about it?
saying?
So my other favorites are definitely Shin Godzilla and the original Godzilla. I would say that this one is pretty on par with Shin Godzilla. That's very high praise.
Yeah, Shin
Probably number
Godzilla.
two.
Shin Godzilla was a little too weird. It was good, but it was a little too weird.
I think that one was a little more political because it was basically a satire on how bureaucratic the Japanese government is.
Here's the thing for
And
me.
it kind of poked fun of
For
that.
Shin, I thought the human story in Shin was not as engaging as it was in -1, and that's where the difference is for me in the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
It
it when.
definitely
Go
hits
ahead.
on what I want from like actual Godzilla movies that aren't American based, where they're actually trying to do some kind of messaging with it rather than just big monster stomp, which is also fun.
Great.
I'm
Right.
still here for the American ones. Like I'm just gonna be like, oh, popcorn flick, but then sometimes it's gonna be like a harrowing war tale or something like that, where it's having to go through the red tape of the government just to save people and stuff. Like
Right.
You know.
Right.
I mean, that's 90% of what the problem is that people have with Godzilla movies. A lot of time is that is there another story you could tell other than big monster
But it's
smash?
tied into a section of time, and it still plays
Yeah.
really well.
Right.
I mean, with their story. I mean, they're telling multiple stories,
Right.
Right.
And it works for whatever reason. And like Paul had said, Tessa had mentioned, it tells just as good a story overall, connecting the two storylines, but with what's happening with these people and what they've gone through. The history behind the -1 title is that when they had gone through the war and there was all this destruction, everything being leveled out, was that Japan was at level 0. And that they're being invaded by Godzilla put them at something below
zero.
their bottom low level of life. That it had gone one level below that.
Jeez, that's
It
great.
was
That sounds
really
dope.
good. I like it, Tessa, when the movie catches you off guard, because I thought it was going to be entertaining. I didn't think it was going to be that good.
It was phenomenal. Yeah, I think.
I saw it late, so I kind of knew it was gonna be good. I wanted to see it, and I had plans to see it a bunch of times, and something weird just happened every time to the other people, and it was always like a really big thing. It was like, my grandma died, like, that's fair, very sorry, and it was just like weird stuff each time, and so
Grandma
I saw
death
it like,
is more important than Godzilla.
yeah. And so it was like, all right, cool. So I didn't see it until like the very end of December, I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like after Christmas.
I mean, you got there though. Shane and Marcus. Had
I
it.
know.
But you know what I think would be.
Oh my
Go ahead.
I'm gonna see it.
Did you see the Apple Plus thing? The
Yeah,
Monarch?
it was good.
You saw the whole thing?
They had it's had its not so great moments, but
Legacy
it
of
overall
Monsters,
was really entertaining. I thought. I like the there's past and present stuff going on. I like the past stuff a little more than the present stuff. But I think an interesting double feature for Godzilla -1 is watch Oppenheimer and then Godzilla -1. Yeah, Shane, it's hilarious. It's hilarious that a movie about the atomic bomb and then watching a movie about the fallout of the atomic bomb.
Oppenheimer is a prequel. to
Everything-
Godzilla.
It kind of is it not though?
Huh.
Maybe.
Tessa,
kinda is,
Tessa,
though.
have you ever seen Oppenheimer?
I want to. I haven't seen it yet.
Listen, Paul is a
Shane
great
won't let me
guy.
talk about it without being annoyed that I'm
He-
talking about it.
He is a big fan of Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Will you please go
Oh.
see it for Paul?
I thought
I
you were
got,
going to say.
I got Ryan to go see Barbie with me. We're gonna see Oppenheimer too. So we've only gotten to see half of our double feature for months.
Wow.
It's worth it.
If he's already seen Barbie, then he has to see Oppenheimer. He needs to kind of equal that out.
Yeah,
Agreed.
whatever.
Yeah,
Barbie's great.
Agreed.
He needs
Barbie
to
was
equal
fun.
out. No. He needs to
you
equal
haven't
that
even
out.
seen it.
I don't need to see it. I don't need
Right.
to
I
see
know
it.
what you're trying to kid.
Yeah, I don't need to see it. No.
But
I love Barbie.
yeah.
no, I think the fallout of the atomic war and stuff in Godzilla -1 is a really interesting way to take the story, which is going back to its roots, which I think helped it a lot.
All right.
So
Anyways, that was-
Oppenheimer created Godzilla, is what you're saying?
Not entirely wrong.
In Paul's mind, yes.
Maybe
Oppenheimer
so the
created
fall-
Godzilla. Everything else.
No, Shane.
So it's
Who created the atomic bomb?
Oppenheimer,
What created Godzilla?
atomic nuclear.
Okay, thank you.
blast.
All right, anyways. All right, anyways.
So we're,
All
getting,
right.
we're getting a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle story here. We're getting like the mutagen.
You win
We're
this
getting
time, Paul.
I knew that would work.
we're getting like nuclear fallout.
You win this
hits a
time.
lizard and becomes Godzilla.
Yeah. All right.
And it spawns a race of kaiju.
Anyways, I digress.
yeah.
Drop
Have
the
you
mic,
been,
Paul.
Tessa? Have you been reading that Godzilla versus King Kong versus or Justice League versus King Kong versus Godzilla? That story.
Yes,
That
I know what you're
series?
talking about.
Have you been reading that at all?
Long enough, you'll get it together. It's fine.
I
you know?
don't. I won't.
Yeah, we're 3 issues in.
Justice League versus Airbud versus King Kong.
I read that so fast.
Same.
My money's on Airbud.
Justice League versus Police Academy. So you've been reading it?
Yeah, it's fun. I will say, as far as like kaiju things going on right now, I really like the Cull, actually, from Image Comics. That's got like some really cool big monsters. And I thought I was reading something else, but now it's escaping me, unfortunately.
There's Godzilla, There Be Monsters, right? Or something like that. There Be Dragons. That one's pretty good.
I've seen that one. Is it actually?
Yeah, I mean, it's
kind
cool.
of assume Godzilla comics are bad.
It's fine. It's not nothing to rave about, but it's fine.
Yeah, the Justice League one's pretty cool. It's pretty rad. Brian Bucciarello is on that.
Oh.
He's doing pretty
Oh
well.
yeah, he's also doing Midlife. That dude does some good stuff. But yeah, when I picked that one up, it was definitely way better than I expected it being. It's kind of the equivalent of like a popcorn flick in a comic. I'm having a good time with it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Speaking of comics, Shane's going to lead out
I got
this
an
comic
announcement to make.
thing. Oh, please do.
It's time for a cop or drive.
Wow.
And then complete silence after that.
I know nothing. So rude.
I just want to see where it was going.
You were the one that was supposed to keep talking.
I know.
Shane.
I just figured my dancing would be enough
And
to
then silently
to,
dancing.
Oh yeah, just dancing to nothing, to no music.
It left me without words. It did.
His mouth was wide open. What are you doing, you fool?
All right.
All right, here we go. Who's gonna go first here? All right, this is a segment where we look at where people bring comics, they tell us about them, and then we decide whether to keep them or throw them away or slap the guy who brought them in. So the person that's going first,
Tessa's
is-
reaction.
I know. Tessa go, what? You gonna slap a guy right here in front of everybody? All right, so this time Frank is gonna go first. Frank goes first.
What?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Frank goes first. Frank,
All right.
what did you bring?
Now I'm nervous.
I will
No.
decide what is good and what is bad with a thumbs up, thumbs down, or the finger.
Or the finger.
Or the finger.
Up, down, or the finger. Okay, so last week, we were going to get into this a little bit. Ultimate Spider-Man #1.
Yes, it did.
It's
That looks great.
It's a good jumping on point, obviously, for this Ultimate Universe. Just starting off the Ultimate Universe before we get to the Ultimates. I think in a few months. Next month we get an Ultimate Black Panther series. We're gonna do we've got the Peach Momoko Ultimate X-Men before we get this Ultimates team together. This is a mild spoiler. Peter Parker is not necessarily Spider-Man in this comic. He's middle-aged with a family. It really it kind of gives you a little bit of the chills as far as it's giving you some background context from what's happened with the Ultimate Universe. The Maker has basically wiped out all heroes, and we are fast forwarding to Stark is contacting Peter Parker, and yeah, exactly, Brennan. It delivered on every level. It was really great. When you get to the end of the issue, it kind of gives you a little bit of the chills because Peter Parker finally understands like what he has to do and what he has to become. So really great artwork as well.
I wanted
Yes,
to
yes.
ask you about that, and we never got a chance last week. Is somebody like myself who has not read Spider-Man in a very long time?
It won't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It
I can
doesn't
jump in
matter,
right at
no.
one and don't have to. All right.
No, because he's
No.
basically an adult, so you could start there.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Fire Guy Ryan says if you start talking about the Ultimate stuff and you get tingles.
Oh,
Yeah, like Marcus and Barbie. All right, so
And then Marco Cicchetto is on the artwork, so he's he killed it. He killed
That
it with
dude did
Daredevil.
Daredevil too.
Yeah.
Joshua Williamson is back. He's doing the Cobra Commander series, a limited series, as I say, as grounded and sort of Jason Bourne, Mission Impossible type of vibes that Duke had. This has some sort of like horror sci-fi vibes to it. There is a subterranean community or world that Cobra Commander is part of. He's a scientist or a researcher, and things go bad. He's part of that Cobra Law Society. All kinds of callbacks with all of this stuff within the Energon universe. Transformers, Void Rivals, Cobra Commander, and Duke. We know that we're going to be kind of heading towards Duke kind of creating a G.I. Joe team. A lot of cool moments that has connective tissue to what's going to be happening in Void Rivals, and obviously Transformers. All that stuff has been really good so far, and it's really worth checking out. But I would say it definitely, it's sort of a contrast in that if you've grown up watching or reading in the old G.I. Joe comics, if you watch the G.I. Joe cartoons when you were younger, Cobra Commander always seemed a little bit whiny. Yeah, and with his role in this, he seems definitely a little bit more imposing and a little more scary as far as a big villain, a big bad. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And then the last thing is really quick: the Zorro Day of the Dead. Diego,
oh boy,
this boy who goes through a traumatic experience. I think he loses a loved one, and he basically goes into hiding, and he kind of has like a personality disorder, and he thinks that he is Zorro. He's a reincarnation of Zorro, and he starts to fight crime, those drug lords and everything else. It's a 4-issue limited series. Sean Gordon Murphy nails it.
Is that dude from Batman White Knight?
Batman White Knight, yeah. Exactly. The artwork is really cool. I'd say for when you get into plot holes as well, when you do this creator-owned stuff, it always seems to play a little differently because the love and everything comes across.
Yes.
When it's like a passion project, and it's like you have all that stuff invested.
Absolutely.
It's not to take anything away from the Big Two, not at all. I love all the stuff that the Big Two puts out, but this artwork,
that's amazing.
All the stuff comes across on the page. He is a great he's a great storyteller on the page of what he does with his artwork. I love it, and I'm excited for this series, and I like the fact that it's like looking at an old school kind of movie poster. It's like an old movie poster that you would see as one of those action flicks you'd go watch in the afternoon on a Saturday or something. So that's my stuff.
It's great.
Nice. Very nice.
Is Tessa playing?
She's playing.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Tessa is next. Wow.
Okay.
Hit it.
So I'm going to go for John Constantine, the new Hellblazer book. It's written by Cy Spurrier, who I have a big soft spot for. Super love him. And Aaron Campbell is the artist who has already delved into the Sandman universe before. This one is pretty cool. I haven't read a Constantine title in a very long time. This one does have Dream coming into it, which is very haunting and amazing. I do have a big, big love for Sandman. And it looks like there's going to be a bunch of Swampy coming in. That's kind of what they're hinting at the end here. And I really love it. But it's very strange. It seems like Constantine might have a son, and he's banned from he's dead, basically. His heart has not been beating, and so now we get to see where that's going, and I'm super excited. I love everything Cy Spurrier does.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
Cop it. Tessa wins.
Did you have others, or just?
Or is that it? Oh, okay, do your thing.
So they're right upstairs, unfortunately, but I have The Deviant by James Tynion, who did Something Is Killing the Children, and Joshua Hickson, who is amazing at cover art and doing everything on the interiors. His colors really add a very specific vibe, where this is about a holiday time serial killer. So sometimes it's all warm and cozy and sweet feeling, and sometimes it is absolutely terrifying and eerie. And in this issue, we're actually getting to delve into what happened in this crime that happened like 40 years ago or whatever in the past. And it's kind of terrifying. It seems like there's a lot of bigotry going on. It seems like it might be some homophobia leading into murder. It's disgusting, but it's a really good book. And then my other pick is definitely going to be Nightwing, actually. I'm not reading any of the Beast World stuff, so it's kind of nice that this one only tied in. Look at that cover. It's so funny.
It's literally a meme, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Damien as the kitten was just so funny,
great.
but then they also did, in typical Tom Taylor fashion, they took this really like funny, endearing moment and turned it into something actually really like sweet and poignant and thought-provoking, where it was like, at first he's just a little kitten and it's like really funny because he's this like angsty little brat as a kitten. And then it's like this moment of him realizing that he has not been in control of himself several times in his life after like the League of Assassins and all that stuff. And they're like, no, anything that you do while you're not in control of yourself, just that doesn't count. Like, let's go focus on helping people rather than beating yourself up when you were brainwashed and couldn't choose anything you were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Phenomenal. Let's go to Marcus.
Thank you.
Marcus.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I like that.
You got it.
I feel like I should have had a drum roll on that.
Marcus!
All right.
I wasn't gonna do it, but I wanted to be nice.
That's a rim shot, isn't it?
That's a-
Marcus is the punchline.
Oh, all right.
All right, hit it.
So,
said it.
issue 1 of this particular series came out, and I've spoken about it before. And now issue 2 is out. This is John Ridley's IDW title, Ministry of Compliance. Very cool, very cinematic.
Nice.
Stefano Raffaelli is also doing the artwork, and he's been all over the place lately. He's really blowing up in terms of artwork. And essentially, this is about you have an alien race of people. They're basically very humanoid. They look like humans, but they go around and they subjugate planets. And they're on Earth, and they were essentially supposed to just subjugate Earth and then go back to their home planet, but they find themselves stranded here, and the Earther people they're called terrorists in this. Basically, it seems like they know that they're stranded, so they're being hunted by these pro-Earth terror groups, and there's a lot of hints of double cross that might ensue in the coming issues. And it's phenomenally done. John Ridley is very good. He did a fantastic job in the first arc of I believe it was Black Panther, and then he also did the Penguin One Bad Day series. That was really good. Very, very good. Very cinematically done. I can't recommend this one enough. This was very good. I've been really trying to dive deeper. Dive deeper into the indie stuff, because right now I love DC, but I've been just kind of oversaturated with all the Donna DC stuff. So I've been trying to just kind of catch up on my indie stuff. And then this one is a title that I didn't expect I would get, but I was just browsing and picked it up anyway. And this one is called Kane. And essentially what you have is a blind assassin who's been trained by a rogue CIA agent. And he goes around and he's an assassin for hire, essentially. And so it kind of has some of the familiar trappings. It almost feels like part Daredevil, part kind of Nick Fury in terms of his sort of personality. And it's written by Walter Hero, among others. And it's really good. So it's a perfect balance of like inner monologue and dialogue. So it feels, it's almost, it reads like a cinematic sort of like if the narration was a voiceover, that type of thing. And you're just kind of following him. He does touch on his origin a little bit, but basically he goes around for hire. He has a handler who gives him jobs, and he travels all over the world doing things. And right now there's a couple of, quick jobs that he does, but then there's this reoccurring one that keeps coming back, and it ends in a cliffhanger. So we're probably going to see another hardcover of this by Dark Horse very
cool.
soon. Very cool. Like, part Daredevil, part.
Sounds kind of like, at least visually, it looks like the dude from the most recent John Wick.
Yeah. John Wick.
It has some of those trappings as well.
Donnie Yen.
Yeah, criminal violence, sex, betrayal, death, underworld stuff. It kind of reminds me of another title.
Very Dark Horse.
Kind of reminds me of The Killer, which was a French translated book that came out. They just put it all in a collection. Very good, where it's just like, you don't expect this character to become as badass as he is, but he ends up becoming that. He kind of haphazardly, it almost feels like he kind of haphazardly comes in to becoming this top assassin for hire,
Very cool.
good.
Yep.
All right, I guess that just leaves Paul.
You guess. So I'm gonna start quickly by echoing a few things that Tessa said about Nightwing. I am up to date on the Beast World event. It's very contained. It's quaint. It's not like 1,000 issues like Night Terrors or
Gang War,
the King in Black or whatever, Gang War. It's very contained. A lot of it are the issues. If you have Nightwing and Titans on your pull, you have most of the tie-ins already. The only complaint I would have about Beast World is Nightwing 110 and Titans number 7 came out this week. Beast World number 4 came out last week, but both of those issues, Titans and Nightwing, chronologically take place before Beast World number 4. So I think maybe something I messed up with the release date.
The release schedule.
Yeah.
Issue.
But the of the two, the Nightwing and the Titan tie-in, Nightwing I enjoyed much more. It's like Tessa said, it's a really cool, heartfelt story that Tom Taylor always does action very well. And he gets kind of the heartfelt nature of these characters and why we're reading them.
Right.
And Damian being afraid to fall back into what he used to be and being mind controlled. And John and Dick Grayson being like, you are not that.
Right.
You're okay. Calm down. Because the thing he does that gets him into that situation is a very noble thing to have done. And he just got like the crap end of the stick and got kind of caught up. And they had to come and help him out. But it was super cool. And I really enjoyed. This was probably my favorite tie-in of all the tie-ins for Beast World, and the Beast World event has been enjoyable. It's fun.
Right. That's good to know.
I think it's a cool concept, and watching the characters go about it has been enjoyable. In concept, it's like a more PG-13 version of Deceased. Almost, it's like very similar to that, but it's been good. And then the second book I'm going to talk about, which is I was telling the guys before the show. I'm a huge Batman Superman guy. This is Batman Superman World's Finest, 23 by Mark Waid, Dan Mora, and colors by Tamara Bonvillain. This is the 4th part of the Return to Kingdom Come. And this is, I could not tell you for certain that there is one single issue of a comic book that I have liked ever. This is maybe my favorite single issue of a comic book ever.
Ever.
The art in it is phenomenal. Mark Waid gets Bruce and Clark and the other versions of them. I think it's tied into Kingdom Come in a compelling and interesting way. Boy Thunder from the second arc of this run, he is a huge part of it, and they use him in an interesting way. And just the thing that it's building to even after this is very cool, and I could not be happier with this book. And I'm a little biased, like I said, because Batman and Superman are my favorite, but I think this is the absolute penultimate best version of those two teaming up that you can find. Maybe you can find ones on par. You will not find one better, and Dan Moore is the best. If I had to pick an artist that wouldn't be Alex Ross on a follow-up to Kingdom Come, it would be Dan Mora.
Okay.
And then the last book I'm going to talk about, I wasn't gonna, but Tessa kind of jumped on the Nightwing, so I'll get into Superman Lost a little bit. Now, this one I'm not going to be super glowing about. I just think it's an interesting talk piece. That's why I wasn't going to do it. But so it's Christopher Priest. I can't pronounce the last name of the artist. I'm not going to try to. So it's Superman is lost for 30 years, comes back after only being gone on Earth for 4 days, but in his time, 30 years. Really interesting concept. And this book lost me, like no pun intended.
Interstellar vibes.
Yeah, and it just got way over convoluted. The art was phenomenal the whole time, all the way through. But there's some plot lines with Lois that begin to be interesting and gets resolved in very, okay, why did you even do that ways. There's some really confusing and why is this happening things going on with Clark and a Green Lantern from this other world that he was at when he was across the galaxy. And I would describe it as a convoluted story with some really interesting ideas and great art. I wish it was better. I would love to hear what other people's opinions on this book that have read it. All 10 issues are out. Maybe it would be better on all the way through. Tessa, have you read any of it at all?
I read the first issue, maybe the first 2.
Yeah.
The first 2 are very compelling.
The first was...
That's the face I made when
the first ended in an interestingly enough, where I was like, okay, I'm ready for number 2. And then number 2, and then I was like, okay, where is this going? I got to like 6, and I was like, all right, I'm kind of over it. I'm going to wait for the last 4 to come out. I'll finish it. And then I did. I just wish the story that was there was as good as the art was. But those are the things I read this week. And my big push would be for any of the books I talked about, go get World's Finest. Go read that book. It is, if you love Batman and Superman, you will adore this book.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And action comics.
All right, Shane.
I'm about to make my selection for who the winner is this week. Okay. Now, Paul sent us some pictures of that world's finest, pages from the world's finest. He sent it to our text thread, Into the West text thread earlier in the week. So he's already disqualified on that. But even though he is a loser this week, he also wins because Tessa and Paul both picked Nightwing.
Yeah.
That is the winner of the week. Okay? Nightwing.
Okay.
Cop it. Do not drop it, cop it.
All right. Wow. That's that. How many?
I'm on my third truly.
He's
Third truly.
I was checking him.
he's fully trulied.
Tessa, you're amazing. Paul, not so much.
Oh my word!
But you guys win. You are the winner for this week.
Right on.
I mean, well, this is some stuff that we're reviewing, but what's something that Tessa? What's something that you could recommend that people haven't been reading that they should be getting on, like a book that they should be checking out that they aren't checking out right now?
As far as like current stuff goes,
Sure. Anything.
my little favorite thing on the shelves right now is Beneath the Trees.
Yes.
Where nobody.
Oh yeah.
Wow. All right.
I pre-ordered a bunch of copies of it, and I'm almost done because I've been like giving them out to my friends, and I've gotten a bunch of people into comics with this one book. It's really great. It's kind of like Dexter, the serial killer TV show, meets like Arthur the Aardvark. It's like very cute bipedal animals and serial killers and murder, but it's really good. As long as you're okay with like super cartoony gore, like very cartoony, so not realistic at all, but there'll be like some organs and blood or whatever. But as long as you're cool with that. I also really like I had it in my brain when I started speaking, and now it's out. I like horror a lot. I like double feature Nightfall, which is about to end. It did take forever to come out, so that part kind of sucks. Hunger in the Dusk. I don't like high fantasy, and I love that book. So that one's amazing. Skeeters is fucking weird. Oh wait, can I curse this show?
Absolutely, you can.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
I like it.
She was listening to PKJ last week. He just went for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
It's all right. Do it.
Yeah, that one's super weird. Monsters, mosquitoes. I read a lot of like really like low key indie books.
Yeah.
I agree on the Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees and Hunger in the Dusk. Those are my two, other than World's Finest outside of the. Those are my two favorites, along with which Ryan has been reading. Tenement. The recent issue of Tenement was fantastic. Like, it was the best issue so far, and it really started tying things together in what has been kind of a what's going on kind of story.
Yeah.
But Tenement would be my pick for what people should be reading. It's super, super cool.
Nice.
I just keep stealing all your picks. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Great minds think alike.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about you, Frankie? What is something that you think people should be reading? I was going to say
Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees as well. As soon as I read it, I just had like all kinds of creepy vibes. I love the animation, and I love the Dexter vibes to it.
Well, we have some exciting news regarding that.
Yeah, we do. And yep. Mm-hmm.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah, but I'm excited. You have to wait, Shane.
That's what we like to call a teaser, Shane.
That's a tease, Shane. That's a tease.
Don't do that.
I'd say that, and I think the Titans run has been pretty good. I mean, I think that the Titans, the whole Beast World thing has been sort of underrated, but I think that Titans as a series has been pretty solid. You're telling me about Guardians of the Galaxy. You're really enjoying that. I got to come back around and get caught up on that. I have all the issues. I just haven't read it.
Issue 10 just came out, and it's kind of, I think there's one more issue before the whole arc that Lansing and Kelly are telling kind of starts to wrap up. And it's been really cool. I think if you love, and it's one of those books that if you're an MCU fan, I would recommend reading this comic from issue 1 to 10, because all you need, if you've watched the movies, if you have watched the Guardians movies 1, 2, 3, you know these characters well enough to jump into this story, have an instant connection with them, and enjoy the ride that Lansing and Kelly are taking you on. There's a few surprises. The art is really interesting, and I think Kev Walker is his name. It's not it's almost like Teen Titans Go-esque, like the cartoon. Wow. That's how it's not similar like visually, it's similar in like vibes. It's a similar vibe.
It's fun. Like,
so
it's a fun,
and I really have enjoyed it. I'm not a huge Marvel reader. I think the only Marvel books on my pull are Guardians of the Galaxy and
Hulk.
Hulk.
Incredible Hulk,
Everything else is indie or DC.
Right.
But I would highly recommend the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's a great jump on book for new readers and people trying to find a way into reading comics. And I can't say enough good things about it. Lansing and Kelly are dope. They have the Neo Gothic Batman Beyond. They have Outsiders, which they're also writing right now. That might just be Lansing. It's either just Lansing or it's Lansing and Kelly. I'm not sure. But they're two of the best. They're like a great duo, and they tell engaging stories every single time. So that's definitely one I would recommend.
Marcus, what do you got? Is something that everybody's sleeping on?
I don't hear much about it, but lately I think I've even posted. Yeah, I did even post. I posted about it actually. Jed McKay's work with Moon Knight, as well as his Avengers series. I'm not much of an Avengers fan in general. What I like to say is I'm more of a Justice League fan than an Avengers fan, but his writing has made me really enjoy the Avengers. It's a very intense series. We're at issue 9 right now in that run since he's taken over, and it has been phenomenal. Very intense. The lineup is awesome. You got T'Challa, you have Captain Marvel, who's Carol Danvers. She's leading the group. You have Sam Wilson as the Captain America on the team. You have Vision. You have Wanda. She's back as an Avengers member, and it's been phenomenal. And just like it's been intense, like one storm after another, one apocalyptic event after another. It seems like it's been very intense, and I haven't really been hearing much about it. So that's one that I would say I would highlight, as well as the Spider titles, like Superior Spider-Man has been great. Now that's back, Dan Slott has been killing that. Spider-Boy, which was introduced in that multiverse little...
the kid's name Riley?
Yeah.
I think.
Or is it Bailey?
Bailey,
I think. Edge of Spider-Verse event that they had, he was debuted in there as Spider-Man's long-lost sidekick that everyone forgot about, right?
Right.
Cute book, very fun, lot of fun.
Kind of like a younger audience could really get into that series for sure.
Yeah, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, as well as on the indie side. What's the furthest place from here? Matt Rosenberg, they're still killing that. That one, I think a lot of people have kind of. I don't hear about it anymore. We're at issue 16 now. It started way back in like 2021. I think it was originally just supposed to be like an 8-issue, and then it got extended, and it's still going, and it's been great. It's just been great. Like, I love it when the creators world build through the characters, like the dialogue. Like you don't see how person A and person B relate until you actually read the exchange.
You've mentioned that series a few times. You've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it's still going on, and I'm just like, wow, this is like, I can't believe it's still going on. But it's amazing. It's been amazing, and I'm just waiting for more of the heartbreak, because Matt Rosenberg tends to write more sad stories, like 4 kids in a bank or whatever that was. I forget.
4 kids walking to a bank.
Walking to a bank.
Yeah, that one was like, oh my god, that was sad.
Is there any comics that have been announced that you guys have are excited for or interested in? I'll mention up top, Crashdown. Fire Guy and Comic Tom.
Absolutely.
We're very excited for that, and we cannot wait for that. That's been a super cool thing for them to have get done, and all the variant covers and things like that.
David Mack is doing a variant cover for them.
Wow.
Ryan was just talking about that, but that's super cool. You guys can talk about that a little more if you want, or just any other books. For me, it's that and Dark Knights of Steel 2. I felt like there was more to tell at the end of that. That was the only disappointment for me in that with Tom Taylor. And now that's going to be another new Elseworlds.
So we're going to get another one, and then they're going to have another kind of spin-off. I don't know if it's a one-shot or it's going to be a mini-series of Deathstroke as a Viking.
Yes.
Set in that same universe.
Yeah, so those are the things I'm super interested in that are going to be coming out soon. What about you guys?
Probably for me it would be because there's still rumors, and there's no announcements. I don't know if they can say anything yet, but I've heard rumors. One, Phil Kennedy Johnson, he had some big 2 news that he didn't really reveal, that he said he was super excited.
He
about.
couldn't say it. We kept bugging him, but he couldn't say.
So that whatever it is, I'm very excited for that, as well as what Gail Simone may be doing as well.
Oh, sure.
She's rumored to be taking on something very major.
You can put it out there.
I thought-
mean,
I'm
it's a
glad that
rumor
you
at this point.
mentioned
It's not
that.
confirmed. You can talk about it.
In the newest issue of Nightwing, the thing that Robin fights, it's a giant bear, but it's Gail Simone. Tom Taylor kind of confirmed it is Gail Simone as a bear, and then they were talking crap on Twitter. It was pretty funny. So I'm glad I remembered that.
Tessa, what about you? Is there something coming up that you're really looking forward to as far as new releases?
Well, obviously, number one thing is going to be Crashdown.
That's
anyone
right.
can use anything. That's number one on their list. I will say I also did read the first issue, and it's really, really good. So
Nice.
Oh, cool. Nice.
and then the other thing I'm really hyped out for is the James Tynion and Christian Ward distillery book that's going to come out. That looks so cool.
That sounds super cool.
I thought Sin City was coming back. Here, anybody?
Oh,
City?
it might be. I don't know.
It might be, yeah. Yeah, because Frank Miller's been doing some stuff. He has his own company now, so I wouldn't be surprised if
No,
that
it's
universe
not.
gets relaunched.
Okay.
Because we have another Ronin.
Thought people like
Spectrograph, that's what it's called. The Christian Ward and China thing that's coming out.
City of Madness is dope. So I'm excited to see
City
more
of Madness
Christian Ward.
is trippy. It's
art,
like
yeah.
quarter owls on acid.
Yes, that is a great way to describe it.
Yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard this is an announcement. I mean, I guess it's been confirmed in the last day or so. Jason Aaron is going to be taking over a new number one, starting over with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whenever they wrap after the issue 150, the current writer, I think there's like a month in between they'll be breaking, and then Jason Aaron will be taking over, writing a new start for that series. So I'm excited to see his take on it. It should be fun.
Yeah.
I'm also interested to see what the Superman Superstar thing brings us.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it's going to be a couple 4 or 5 issue arcs from, and I think after Jason Aaron, it's going to be Mark Waid, and he's going to tie that 4 issue run he does on Action into his World's Finest comic.
Okay.
That's my understanding of what's going to be happening there. And I'm super, super into that.
Oh, the Jason Aaron's doing an arc, right?
Yeah,
He's doing like
he-
6 issues.
He's not going to be it's not going to be an ongoing thing he
It's
does.
like a bizarro
I
arc.
think
Yes.
PKJ said like 3 issues. Like they're doing like 3 issues.
4 or 5, 3, something like that. Yeah.
Aaron in 2024 is going to write Batman, Superman, and TMNT. Like that's an insane year for
It's
a
pretty
creator.
ridiculous.
That is.
Have any of you guys read Offworld? I'm like super on the fence about it.
I did.
Same.
I
didn't read it.
I didn't read it. I wasn't.
It's
it
just-
didn't grab me.
A cool concept, not unlike Superman Lost. That's just very like,
I'm trying to defend Superman Lost.
do you, but it's just
He hated it.
it's like he has conversations with people and they just talk in ways that nobody talks. Like not even if you were a superhero on a different planet would you talk the way they talk to each other.
So the voicing
Like
is kind
how?
of off.
It's
What do
just
you mean
it's very strange and things happen very quickly. Like Batman gets like shunned to this like work camp almost, and he's there for like the first 2 pages of the issue, and then he's out. But they make it seem like such a hard thing he went through, and I'm like, you were there for like 2 minutes.
It was like community service.
Yeah,
it wasn't
I don't
really
know.
like a
It was
prison.
weird. And then the Tamarin who's there with him, she's weird. She's like the whole like, oh, you're here because of somebody you love, and it's like she doesn't know, but it's Gotham. And I'm like,
Brendan's
all
saying
right,
the
bro,
artwork
all
is
right.
pretty good.
The art, Doug Mankey is fantastic.
Oh, Doug
that's
Mankey.
that's without question.
Mark Nerdy AF. Hi, Mark. Was
hi, Mark.
mentioning Swan Songs is just rap. That's the Maxwell Prince stuff.
Yeah.
That's like poetry or something. I didn't read it. Is that right, Tessa?
Yeah, it's an anthology book. The last issue was very like adult poetry. God, that book is so good.
Oh
Yeah?
wow. Okay.
All right, gotta check that out. I don't know the Ha Ha and Ice Cream Man and stuff like that. That stuff is like super creepy. I'm not a horror movie fan, Tessa, but I like horror comics. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
They're
I'm
fun.
weird. that
You really
way.
dug what's the dogs one that you really liked?
Oh, Stray
Stray
Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Feral comes out like I think in March
Yeah.
with the cats that get the domesticated cats get released in the forest or whatever else, and there's a rabies outbreak or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's gonna be
sounds-
cool.
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all over it.
That sounds insane.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna bring it for you to read.
All right. Pick it up for me.
All right, I'll pick it up.
I
I
think
definitely read more horror comics than like any other genre. I read way too much horror stuff.
there's a lot of it, especially Boom Studios. Boom is like that's all they churn out. It seems
It
like these
seems
days.
like it's
Yeah.
supernatural or like a horror theme to like
Right.
a lot of the stuff they do.
Right.
Like most of the stuff they do now.
How about the Jeff Johns Mad Ghost stuff with Geiger and the robot and
Ghost World.
Ghost World.
Or
Yeah,
Ghost,
and there's a
Ghost Machine.
Ivan
next
Haish
week.
left DC to work with him.
Yeah. Mark Silvestri, I think. Too,
yeah, it's gonna be.
Really?
I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I know.
some
Oh,
interesting-
Jason Fabok. Yeah.
Fabok,
He's,
yep.
Yeah, he's on there.
I really enjoyed the 2-issue origin for Geiger. I thought it was interesting. And Gary Frankus, he's the freaking best.
Yeah, everything.
He's the best.
Yeah, everything he does should be an absolute. It's
So they're
like
doing a
crazy.
oversized issue, I think, Tessa, next week, where they're going to be introducing a lot of the characters, the Red Coat and
Yeah.
Junkyard Joe. They'll be tying everything in together in like an oversized issue, one shot. They're going to be Ghost Machine #1, I think is what they're doing next week. And they'll be introducing some characters, some of the stuff you've already seen, like in a limited or ongoing series. I'm excited. Brian Hitch is involved. I'm looking down the roster there.
Fabok,
Francis
Hitch,
Manapul. There's a
Manapul,
lot of good stuff. I'm excited for that.
So am I.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
Did you read the 2-part origin? It was
I
good.
dug it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
cool.
world is cool. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah.
All right. So we covered everything ever comes out. Covered every book there is. Okay. So little news and notes there, Shane. Daredevil is going to be resuming shooting, according to Vincent D'Onofrio. They're going to be going back to shooting. What's your hype level on a 1 to 10? What's your letter grade?
Since what I saw in Echo, so Echo is once we saw what happens to Kingpin and Echo, that's what's supposed to be happening in Daredevil, right?
Mm-hmm.
You looking at me? I didn't watch it.
I know, but I'm just looking
You're
at you
asking
because
Paul,
I
he
need to look.
didn't
I need
see
to
it.
look at somebody.
Okay. Well, I am
So I
the best
picked
to
you.
look at. Thank you.
Yeah, you're real cute.
Yeah, don't look over here.
I'm gonna give it a 7 as far as just because
Your excitement?
my excitement level is probably at a 7 at this point. And that may seem a little high considering how low it was for Echo itself, but I think Vincent D'Onofrio is one of
Nailed
the
it.
best.
You're not even Italian.
He's a really, really good actor.
Shane's not Italian.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
No
Silly.
idea.
He's a really good actor. So I think, I say a 7. I'm that excited for it.
And I guess it's more good news as far as the show that Eldon Henson and Deborah Ann Wool are going to be coming back to play their
Yes.
characters,
Karen
Foggy
Page.
and Karen Page.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's cool. I'm
right.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
It should be good.
Yeah.
The fact that they fired everybody and then you get news like that Karen Page,
Right.
the actor who
Is-
played Karen Page and Foggy are coming back. That means they were like, okay, yeah, we might have been kind of going
Hasty.
going in a weird direction. Let's reset it.
Right.
and-
Tessa, you have time to get caught up on all this Daredevil stuff because I mean
Start watching shows.
yeah, the
Come
new
on.
series isn't going to be out until 2025. I think we're not even getting Daredevil until
Eesh.
next year, right?
Find
So
2
you've got
hours
plenty
out of
of
your
time.
day. Yeah.
Plenty of time.
3 in the morning.
This is what happens to me, Tessa. I say I haven't watched something, and then they bully me about it.
Yeah. Because this is
You guys
ridiculous.
don't have lives. I'm sorry. Like,
No. Listen, I don't have any life. I don't have a life to
I don't have
speak
any
of.
life.
I don't have any life in me.
I don't have
In
very
me or
little
around me.
life.
The zero life.
No, it's tough. It's tough even for me because like a lot of times when I'm watching shows, I'm like, man, I could be knocking back a few more issues,
Oh, there's
of
a
my
truly-
of my of my
Yeah,
of my
Shane, you could always be
backlog
knocking
of
back.
comics that I'm reading. But yeah, I tend
Speaking
to I have to try to at least do like
Segment.
segment like just say okay, like I'm gonna do 1 episode today, or I'm gonna do at least 2 episodes a week, or have like a little goal. And if you don't meet it, you
and
don't
hit
meet it. But that's it. But yeah, you have to be very selective and judicious with what you
Not
pick
judicious.
at this point because it's just so much material out there. And
I want to consume everything. It sucks. But I
Yeah.
related really hard to it. Something Paul said earlier where he was just like, yeah, like when I have the option to go watch the show that doesn't even seem that great, like I'd rather just read some of my pull-ins.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Literally.
Well, you won't be disappointed with the Daredevil and the Punisher stuff. That's for sure. And honestly,
I love Jessica Jones. That's like one of the only ones I've seen, but I loved it. I only saw the first season, but I loved it.
I mean, yeah, I don't think we can really put too much on Echo. I don't think that would sway me either way about
As far as
Daredevils
yeah.
and-
I just would. I think I'd be more excited
know, I
for
think you're
Daredevil
right.
if Drew Goddard was still involved. He's a fantastic writer and showrunner, and he's
Oh.
not involved anymore. So
Oh.
that's where my trepidation comes from. Which
No.
I have a question for some. Marcus said you can't put too much on Echo. We're saying that about every show and movie now.
yeah, it's true.
That's
So
true.
when can we put something on movies for them to actually start being good
Right, we're
and,
like
and make them
apologizing.
mean something?
I think it's the movie that comes out in July.
What's that?
Deadpool.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I think that's the one that carries a lot of weight.
Makes
They're
or breaks,
only
yeah.
putting out one MCU film this year.
So
That's
if that
true.
fails, we
And
can
it's a
just stop
Fox movie.
watching, right?
Yeah, we can just
If
stop.
it fails,
Seriously,
If that fails,
I'm
we'll
already at
stop
that
watching.
point already where I'm not watching.
I
anything.
can
Yeah.
feel. I feel that.
The
I
voice
can
of God
appreciate
you're hearing is Quan, by the way.
Yeah.
Listen,
Quan is a producer.
it's 6 months from now.
What?
Ryan, John, Tessa, you make the trip out to Vegas. We're doing a premiere for Deadpool. We're
Are
gonna
we sure?
we're gonna do a buyout for the yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
okay.
agreeing with
I
you.
thought you said, I thought you said, are you sure? No, we're gonna do a buyout where we'll watch Deadpool and come out here.
So yeah,
and
fly
hang
out here
with
to
us.
watch a Deadpool.
Come
I
out and watch
literally
it.
just flew over to Washington like a week ago for a concert. I'll do it for
Okay,
that's
there you
fine.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, right on.
I
I'm
haven't.
flying to Florida in like a week. Yeah, I fly all the time. I don't care.
And Ryan Reynolds will be at their premiere. on the-
Right.
on the-
Yeah, he'll be
Oh,
on
Lord.
screen, and Shane will be there, and he's not going to have any Truly until you show up.
That's,
Yeah, as soon as you show up, I'm going to have 15 Trulies.
that's a lie.
Yeah. We'll go can for can.
You better believe it. Let's do
Well,
it.
I think you got something there because I mean, there's a lot of with all the speculation of what's going to probably be in the
I don't even know what
Deadpool
shows
movie.
are coming out.
yeah.
They can't confirm anything as far as
Right.
what's being released.
But-
X-Men 97, the animated thing that's supposed to be coming out this year. There's no date.
Oh, I was like, what? I didn't never.
We're getting the Agatha Coven of Chaos,
Oh,
Da-
yeah.
Darkness
Oh, my
Destinies,
goodness.
Diary, Darkhold,
Diary of Dark
whatever,
Old
Diary,
Destinies.
Darkhold of Destinies. I don't know.
Just
just
diary.
Red-
Oh,
Agatha Red Shoe Diaries, whatever it's called. I don't even know what's happening. There's, I don't know.
Just the
Sorry.
fact that we have Logan coming back. I mean, Wolverine, Hugh Jackman.
That is amazing.
coming back. That kind of that's enough to make me curious, at least to see Deadpool 3. And then with all the speculation surrounding the movie, that might actually
Shane
have
might be
something.
in it.
Yeah, no
It's really-
kidding.
yeah.
But I mean, how old is Hugh Jackman now? How old is he? Been doing this
78.
character. Been doing this character since.
At least 30.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's over. He's 30. Like, I think he's 31.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was in Rick and Morty.
Yeah, he was. Is that really him?
Yeah, that was him.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, hopefully DC can kind of pick up some of the
Well,
slack.
DC's not doing anything until
They won't have anything until
2025 with Superman,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
which I am
Wait
ecstatic
a
for,
minute.
by the way.
When was Creature Commandos coming out?
It's a cartoon. I don't give a damn.
Whoa.
Wow, that was
Paul.
mean. That was very
Wow,
that was very mean.
aggressive.
I'm
Paul.
telling you right now, I'm not going to watch Creatures Commandos. Sorry.
Why?
Paul, why don't you go ahead and our special announcement for next week?
Oh, yeah.
Our very special
Next
guest
week?
Tessa had mentioned
Oh, yeah.
Crashdown. We're all anticipating Crashdown. I may have or may have not ordered several issues
You've ordered
of
every
Crashdown for next week.
every
We'll be
variant
doing
cover.
We'll be doing giveaways next week on the show. And Paul, go ahead.
So hey, he's coming on next week?
They are coming on next week.
Oh, they? Well, okay, see, I'm confused.
Oh boy.
You're mixing our announcements up.
Paul's ruining
He's in
it.
February.
Oh, okay. All right.
Paul's ruining it. Go
All
ahead,
right,
Paul.
I
Shane,
was
go ahead and make
confused.
our announcement. You don't even know what we're talking about.
The announcement is Paul stinks. I'm kidding. I love you. Go ahead.
Ryan and Comic Tom, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That was you nailed it.
My bad.
Amazing. That was
Quan wants to
amazing.
laugh.
Anyways.
Laugh. Quan.
Fumble. It's all good.
Go ahead, Paul.
It's all good.
I already went. We're going to have Fire Guy Ryan and Comic Tom back on, and we're really excited for that. Ryan said Paul ruined it yet again.
Paul ruined once again.
Oh boy.
That was
Hey,
good.
hey, Tessa. So it would be criminal of me not to acknowledge this, but in your background, you have 3 slabs there. Are those of any sentiment to you? Those
I have 4.
or 4? You have 4 behind
Counting is
there.
hard, I know. So I'm actually dog sitting right now, so this is not my normal setup. I'm in someone else's house, but I was like, I don't
okay.
want to have just a plain wall behind me, so I just grabbed a small handful of my slab.
Nice. Yeah. Atmosphere.
Okay.
Get-
Get
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So I got first dolphin with this sweet pike cover. I love this book.
Nice.
That's the dad gift,
That's
right?
dad gift.
Yeah, that was the dad gift, right?
Oh yes, this was the dad gift. Yeah.
Okay.
I have first Juggernaut.
Oh,
Nice.
very cool.
I'm working on my X-Men run from 1 to 141. As far as the first like 60 issues go, I'm only missing number 1 right now.
Ooh,
So
very
that's
cool.
like-
Very impressive. Yeah, Kane Marco. Yeah.
I'm trying to get all the big premiere issues from 1968. I have most of them, but yeah, this is my Silver Surfer. I have every issue in this run except for 4, unfortunately. It pisses me off.
That's gorgeous. That's a gorgeous issue.
Amazing.
I love it. Yeah, I love that cover. And then this is
First Poison
Ivy's
Ivy?
her character. So I have I think 5 copies of this book, but this is my nicest one.
Very cool. That's first Poison Ivy, right?
Yep.
First appearance. Very cool. Very
Man.
cool. And that series has been killing too.
G. Willow Wilson.
Yes, G. Willow Wilson, man.
She's the
Yeah.
best. She's great.
Killing it. Absolutely cool. Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to see what
Thank
was up
you.
with those. Yeah.
Sure.
Nice.
And I just wanted to reiterate next week. Paul nailed it, but I just want to mention again. Next week, live on the show, fresh off their release
sorry,
of
Ryan.
Crash Down, Comic Tom 101. Tom Garcia and Fire Guy Ryan Sargent will be joining us live on the line. Next week, we'll be talking all things Crash Down, and they're preparing for MegaCon. They're going to Orlando like pretty soon. I think they'll
very
be
cool.
packing while they talk to us next week. They'll be getting their suitcases together.
They're gonna be
not
holding
sure.
them while they talk to us. Actually,
Yeah, they'll be holding their suitcases and their
Getting on the plane.
yep.
Oh,
As they
yeah.
board the plane, they'll be
Yeah.
doing it in TSA pre-check. They'll be talking to us, and we'll be having some giveaways on the show as well. We'll be doing some stuff while we talk to them because I've got plenty of copies. So we're going to be doing that next week as well. I'm excited for that, man. I'm really happy for them, Ryan. If we didn't
he
scare
says
you
it'll be
away,
their first interview after the release. Ryan's in.
Oh,
I don't think there's
baby,
much we
so-
could do to scare him away at this point.
that's
Tom,
good.
maybe.
Tom, possibly. Ryan, no, not
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
And hopefully not Tessa. Tessa, we appreciate you hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun. Sorry for Shane, and we appreciate you hanging out with us. It means a lot for you
What
to
are you
take the
kidding me?
time.
I picked a
It
comic
was,
for Copper Drop.
oh, I'm sorry. No, he voted for you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're only gonna apologize for Shane and not Paul.
Wow. All right.
I'm gonna
Thank
apologize
you,
to
Tessa.
Ryan for Paul.
Thank you, Tessa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tessa, where can
Paul, you were mentioning your pull list. We have a lot of the similar taste or whatever. As far as Marvel goes, I also am not really into Marvel right now, but you should try Fantastic Four because I had
Oh,
I like the
yes.
other
Ryan
two
North.
readings.
Ryan
Yeah.
North. All right.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Very
It's like
smart.
the only other Marvel book I like. Literally, that's it.
All right. I'll get it. I'll jump on it this week.
I
Yeah,
have
very
I
smart.
think I've got the first trade. I'll bring it for you next week.
Sounds good. I'll do that. I'll get the first trade and then I'll jump on whatever book it's at.
Yeah, we're
Right
at
now.
15.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're at 15. It's going. They're cranking them out actually because it's going fast. So Tessa, where can they find you on those socials there? I mean, like, because I found you on Instagram. You know, so
I do. I am on the Instagrams. I'm at Tessa is a nerd with a period in between each word. So Tessa period is period nerd. I also have YouTube, and that's just Tessa is a nerd spelled out normally. I am on X and Blue Sky
Not
and
X.
Threads, and that's all just Tessa is a nerd, all the normal stuff,
X
and
formerly known
TikTok
as
as
Twitter.
well. I'm everywhere. Just talk
Fair.
to me everywhere. I love having friends.
boom,
Love chatting.
boom.
Very
There
cool.
it is. There it is.
Marcus, what do you have for the people?
Hey, enjoy comics. what? Everyone just starts. All I said was "hey," and everyone just erupts in laughing. Bruh.
How you said hey?
What do you got for the people?
Hey.
Hey.
So yeah, read comics.
That's what I got.
And
Got a hay.
if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Into the West Comics. Also, go check out your local comic book store. You know, as you can see from our guest Tessa, you know
They're
she's
important.
growing.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Right.
They're growing. Comics, it's the way to go. Get your, it's a great way to, get your family, your children involved as well. And it's just a great time. Get out there, get them reading. If you're not into these TV shows, hey, this is a perfect time to jump on. There's a lot of really great titles coming out, whether it be indie, whether it be Marvel, DC. Everything is pretty much firing on all cylinders. So yeah, just get out there and ask questions. Don't be afraid to check some stuff out at your local comic book store for sure.
LCS, try Cloud City.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you're-
absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're in
Cloud
the
City game.
And congratulations on the expansion. That's awesome.
Yes.
That is very
If you're
cool.
in the tri-state area, hit up Cloud City. I don't even know if
Is that
Pennsylvania's
what
in
is
the
it-
tri-state area. I don't know.
What do they call your area? Do they call your area
tri-state
something
area.
like Tri-City area or something?
Dr. Doofus.
I don't know.
Great question that I don't have an answer
Because
to.
it's like Philly. What is it? Is Trenton like right next to it or something? I forget where.
like,
This is
I gotta
the
look at a map.
topography part of.
I know.
everyone's in their pencils. We're getting quizzed right now.
Yeah, all right.
Write it down.
What's the capital of Missouri?
I don't know.
Wow.
New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. So Paul's wrong.
Yes,
okay.
as
Oh, there you
usual.
go. Once again.
Wow.
Keep apologizing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. For
Thanks,
that one.
Ryan, for that. That was great.
23 times in
Shane,
one
what do you-
episode.
Shane, what do you got for the people?
I just want to say shout out to Barney and Simpsons Comics because when I went to the Top Notch card shop,
Front row card
front row
show.
card show.
Jesus.
That was worse than mine.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. You didn't even know the name
Listen,
of it.
Nothing I do is going to be worse than what you do.
Brendan said
Make
he
sure you
wants
get down to the top
front
notch
row
card
card
shop.
show.
Shane, before you continue fumbling
Go
all
ahead.
over yourself, Brendan said he wanted to see me and you in a claymation battle like a celebrity death match from the 90s.
I'd love that.
I think it would be cute.
Shane, anyway, you want to talk about the top floor card store? Whatever.
Top floor card store. Barney and his gang at Simpsons Comics were they couldn't have been nicer. I haven't been on the show since then, so that was a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. But it was one of the greatest times I've had at one of those.
I told you it was
gigs.
a fun time.
And it's a really fun time. Barney is a national treasure. I love him. I love all his dudes. His dudes were very accommodating. They're nice to me. They're nice to Sonny. And we had a good time over there. I dig those guys with all my heart and soul.
Yeah, very, very good.
Very
Yeah, you
good
met
guys.
Barney, Butters over there,
Yeah.
and Nick, and those guys.
Those dudes are
Yeah,
hilarious,
they're great.
man. They're hilarious.
Paul, how can they find us in the tri-state area?
So people can find us in the tri-state area at Into the West Comics on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, at Into_Comics on Twitter. And shout out to Sunny, Dre, Austin, who had prior commitments or doing something else today. Shout out Donovan, everybody.
Sonny at the rodeo.
Yeah, Sonny's at the rodeo. I don't even know if that's true. But
Finder.
yeah, shout out everybody. Thank you, Tessa, Ryan,
Thank you,
Tom,
Tessa.
PKJ,
John.
everybody who comes on the show all the time, and everybody who just chats it up with us. Brendan, John, Ryan, Tanya, I guess.
Tanya.
Shout out
Hey,
Quan for
Alyssa too. Alyssa, yeah. Shout out to Alyssa.
Yeah.
She watches the show too.
shout out to Shane's first #1 biggest fan. I think that's his daughter,
Maybe
so I
Gracie.
don't really know if that counts.
Might be
Is that
Gracie.
Grace?
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts. But yeah,
Love
thank you
you,
guys
baby.
all. This was a lot of fun. We're out of our minds, and thank you.
In addition, I want to mention before Paul does, in addition to our special guests, we're going to have live on the line in studio live next week. We're going to have Shane's best friend, Barney from Simpsons Comics, will be live in studio as well.
My man. My man.
Tessa, thank you for. I was going to say thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for putting up with us for the past 90
especially
minutes.
that.
We
you for coming.
appreciate
Oh,
you,
Lord.
and we look forward to having you back on in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Tessa will have 50 more stores opening within the next.
You're gonna have to pencil us in soon,
You're
right?
great. You've been fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah,
guys.
Tessa, thank
I'll
you.
feel a restraining order soon.
Sounds,
yeah.
sounds good.
Come on.
We like it. And we'll plan your Vegas trip out here for the Deadpool thing.
We'll plan
you
it.
don't have to sit by Shane.
Of course you do. You have the best time of your life if you sit by me. Don't sit by Paul. I tell you that much. I'm
No,
kidding.
like, Shane and I are gonna go can for can with Trulies.
Yeah, you
we have a
better
deal
believe
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's already working out.
All right. Well, as far as tonight goes,
They're all empty,
It's-
Paul.
He got through all three of them before the show.
taco time in America, everybody. We're at taco time. Tessa, thank you again. We appreciate you. And
Thank you, guys.
we'll talk to you soon. And we'll be back next week with Crashdown creators.
Comic Tom and Fire Guy Ryan.
Best believe.
I got it right.
Nailed it. All
Later,
right.
guys. Thank you.
Love
Talk
you,
to you guys
everybody.
soon.
Good night.
Have a great evening, everybody. We love you.
Love you, Eva.
False nemesis.